When you press this boost button on the steering wheel of the new Audi RS5, you get 10 seconds worth of maximum attack from the hybrid system. And then if you press this RS button, you get this menu appear when you can choose the new RS Torque rear setting, which allows the car to drift. This is the new Audi RS5, and in this colour scheme, it looks a little bit like Spider-Man. Question is though, is it like Spider-Man in the first two movies? More like Spider-Man in Spider-Man 3, where he puts on the black suit and then becomes more powerful, but also less good? Well, we're going to find out. I'm Matt Watson, you're watching Car Wow. Just like the old RS5, this new one has a 2.9 litre twin-turbo V6. However, it's mated to an electric motor, and as a result, you have 639 horsepower and 825 newton-meters of torque. That's like RS6 numbers. It's insane. So how quick is this thing? Well, let's launch it and find out. Here we go. Left foot on the brake, floor of the throttle, launch control, now. Pretty quick, 0 to 60 is 3.7 seconds. Apparently it's supposed to do it in 3.6. Oh dear. What's a quarter mile? Come on. 11.9 seconds. Let's give it one more go. Audi, it's supposed to be German, which means you should do actually better than the claim manufacturer times. What's wrong with you? Oh, that was a good gear change. Well, we got 3.74, it's the same. Where's my 3.6? 11.9 again. But how can that be when it's got so much power? It's all down to the weight. This thing's heavy, 2,355 kilos. I'm going to show you the effect of the weight now. I'm going to jump into something else. I'm now sat in a BMW M3 competition. It has a 3 litre twin turbo straight six. It only puts out 530 horsepower and 650 newton meters of torque. Obviously it's going to be slower than the Audi, right? That felt faster. Yeah, more aggressive. What we got? 3.2 to 60. Quarter mile is going to be quicker than the Audi, but by how much? Wow. 11.27. That Audi weighs 2,355 kilograms. This is 1,780 kilograms. It's like 600 kilos difference. And the power that the Audi has, the advantage in power from the hybrid system, isn't enough to make up for it. The Audi's power to weight ratio is 271 horsepower per tonne. This is over 290 horsepower per tonne. But weight doesn't just affect your acceleration, it affects your braking performance. So this particular version of the M3 is on the optional carbon ceramics. They're about 9 grand. We've got 400mm disc up front, 380 on the rear. We're also on Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tyres. Right, we're coming into the braking zone now. I'm going to brake in exactly the same place for the Audi. What do we get? We're looking for around 34 metres. Whoa. 32 metres. Now for the Audi. Now this has 420mm discs up front and 400 at the rear, but is on the standard steel brakes. We're on Bridgestone Potenza Sport tyres. Here we go. Braking zone now. 3, 2, 1. That's not as good. What? I thought it wasn't as good by where the cameraman was stood, but actually that's better. What? 28? 20? What? No. Let me try that again. It's almost the same. 29 metres. We're back in the game, Audi! Also, Audi's engineers have tried to make this car as fun as possible, so they've given it a special rear differential which combines a normal LSD with an electric motor to send torque to the outer wheel, whichever wheel needs the most power, almost instantaneously. And so they have this drifty mode. So let's see if it works. It's saying stability control off. I think it'll work. What is this witchcraft? Can you go the other way? See if I can transition it. I can't even say transaction. I transitioned well. Madness. Oh, that's enough of that. It works! It's actually not meant for donuting, it's meant for on tracks, big smoky drifts such as these. The BMW can do something similar, but it does it differently. This BMW takes a simpler approach. It just allows you to decouple the four-wheel drive system so the car goes just purely rear-wheel drive. I think that was first introduced on a Mercedes ages ago. This is the actual car on the day. But what it means is sliding is easy because you're not having the front wheels trying to pull it forward. So if you want to go the other way, it's actually easier than in the Audi. Hello, Lewis. Run. I got him a bit worried there. Anyhow, that's another win for the BMW. But maybe there's an area where the Audi does shine. Visually, this new RS5 is a lot more aggressive looking than the previous generation and the RS4 as well, which is sort of what it actually replaces. You've got this whole new front design over the normal A5. Very, very wide mouth grille. Too wide in my opinion. It's a little bit large, but all the vents and everything you see are real. Now, the car is actually 90mm wider than the standard A5 and the track is wider. Part of this is new wings, really wide shoulders on this car, and they have vents here. Do seem to go somewhere, but when you actually look into the wheel arch liner, I don't know where the air's going. Wheel sizes, these are 21s, start 20. Moving down the side, you've got some big side skirts. Doors and roof are exactly the same as the standard A5, and while some people don't like these door handles, I quite like them. It's like a little switch in there. Now, the rear door is not the same as on the A5 because if you notice, you've got this rear haunch again that, oh, hello, didn't mean to do that, that's the charging port. Move around to the back. All this is the same as the normal A5, this and the roof, but obviously you get a little tail spoiler and then a whole new lower bumper here, which is quite a good looking rear bumper. I like the diffuser design, I like the exhaust design, it's pretty cool. I do like the look of this new Audi RS5, but overall I do prefer the M3's design. Remember we were all complaining about its new grille? It looks cool now, it's definitely better than the front of this Audi. Also, while I like the rear end on this, the BMWs with its quad pipes, just chef's kiss. The only angle that I prefer this RS5 from over the BMW M3 is the side profile. This has a great side profile. It does look better in this saloon body, I don't know why they call it a saloon, it's actually a hatchback, than the Avant Estate. But what about the inside? Over the standard A5, the RS model gets a sports steering wheel, which is octagonal. And it also has these buttons, the RS one, which you can use to go through the different RS modes, and then your boost button there, more on that in a bit. You also have a red surround for the starter button. You've got these RS sport seats, which are quite nice. So I prefer these seats than the standard seats you get in the BMW, and I prefer the bucket seats in the BMW, apart from when you're having to get in and out of them, because the high sides are a bit annoying. You also get RS on the kick plates. You can get a red stitching on the seats. You can actually get different coloured stitching. You get Alcantara Race Texi type of material here on the dash, and you can get different materials here for the center console and so on and so forth. You also get RS sport mats. Why are they sport mats? Foot mats. Mats? Mat. Just RS mats. Lewis isn't happy about these because they don't extend all the way up there. You don't like that, do you?
No, it looks weird.
Yeah, it needs to go all the way to the top of the footwell. What else do we have in here? Oh, look, we've got red seat belts, and you can do different colours of seat belt as well. Then you have some RS dials. I don't really like the digital driver's display that much. It's quite simple because it's a rev counter with your speed underneath, but it could be bigger if there wasn't so much like information down here with all your battery and blah, 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 hybrid, blah, all that kind of stuff. Ah, and you know what, just general thing on the A5, I don't really like the infotainment system that much. Using the aircon is a faff going in through here. And then the passenger screen, bloody pointless. Hate passenger screens, just stop it now. We don't need any of those at all, thank you very much.
Fortunately, there's more to like in the back. Just like the A5, there's enough room for adult passengers. The seats are comfy and it's easy to fit a child's seat.
Just a bit dark with this black interior trim. Definitely get the sunroof. Get it now. Another Audi are technically lying calling this a saloon because it's a hatchback, but hatchback doesn't sound as cool, does it? It's more useful though. The boot is quite a big space and it's easy to climb into. James, would you like to shut the boot on me? Yeah, you know, get your own back. Let's see if I can fit. Actually, it's quite comfy. You can come in here with me, James, if you want to. No? Okay, probably wouldn't fit actually because the big capacity is only 330 litres, which is 100 litres less than a normal A5 because you've got the batteries for the hybrid system underneath the boot floor, and that brings on to 5 annoying things about this car. Get me out, you buggers! The problem with hybrids is that you have to have a release button for the fuel filler so that you don't... Something tried to get me. Oh, what a delay. Anyhow, I hate the way you have to do that. You can't just open it when the car's unlocked. And then there is the fuel economy. So what is supposed to be the fuel economy of this car, James?
74.
74. What a bollocks. It's doing 15 mpg. Have been thrashing it, but 74, no, not a chance. And then there's the fact that the fuel tank is quite small. Normal A5 is 56 litres. On this one, it's 48 litres. You're going to be filling this up a lot. You're probably not going to be plugging it in to charge it, because no one ever does with plug-in hybrids. It's just a load of nonsense. You might be thinking this boost button here on the steering wheel gives you some more power for a short period of time. No, it doesn't. What it does is put the car in its sportiest setting, so it sets into a slightly lower gear, increases the throttle map, and just makes it a bit more urgent. Same as just pressing the RS button if you've configured that accordingly. Now the idea is that if you suddenly need to overtake when you're in comfort, it means that you're set up ready to go. But that involves going, oh, I want to overtake, I'm going to press boost button and now I'm going to floor the accelerator. Why not just have the full setting in the kickdown switch for the accelerator? So it's like, oh, suddenly I need to overtake, you just floor it, and then you get all the power, all the urgency, and the gearbox and everything just in the right mode, just on your right foot. Simpler. That's just marketing nonsense, and I hate that. Bigger plug-in hybrid, you obviously have to carry around all of this kind of stuff. Look, I mean, look at all this. And then there's your tyre sealant and your first aid kit as well. Unfortunately, there's no underfloor storage because of the aforementioned batteries. Just that for your jack. So that's annoying. Also, I found this car's front to be quite low. As I pulled out my driveway, I managed to rip this bit of trim off it. And then when we were filming a drag race with this car, this just flew off. It's part of the rear diffuser. One of the many problems I have with plug-in hybrids is I'm never sure whether I got them turned on or off, either when getting in and trying to start it or when like driving off. So, is it on? Is it on? Is it on? Is it on? The engine's not running. Can you hear that though? That's fake noise. Is that outside the car as well? It is outside the car. Is the car on? I don't even know if it's on. Is it on?
No.
Where? Let's go to RS. Now it's on. Right, and then if I did that, right. Now is it off? Have I turned it off? You have turned it off. Now, like my Tesla, I've got a Tesla Model 3, you just get in it, you shut the door, go into gear and you drive off. Or I like my Toyota GR Yaris, I get in it, I press a button, I start it, I hear the engine, I know it's working, and then I turn it off and I get out of it. With this, I'm never entirely sure what's happening. Is it on or off now? Is it? You get the idea. Do you want to have a look at this car's engine? Look, it's here. 2.9 litre V6. It's capable of 177 miles an hour, but only if you have the Vorsprung model, otherwise it's limited to 155. Also, I've noticed this. It's like someone's stolen something. Maybe that's where the battery was and they've moved it to the rear for this RS5. But it does mean, look, I know. I am convinced that is perfectly fine. You've probably gathered from my rants that I'm not the biggest fan of plug-in hybrids because you get an internal combustion engine car and an electric car combined in one, so there's two different systems to go wrong, and then there's a system that gets them to work together which could also go wrong. So as a used vehicle, yeah, it could be an absolute nightmare, but really if you're buying new, that's not a problem, is it? It's not your issue. And this is where plug-in hybrids start to make sense if you are a company car driver, because the benefit in kind taxation that you'll pay on this car over 3 years is £14,000, and you compare that to the BMW without the plug-in hybrid system on it, that'll cost you £39,000 from the tax man. All of a sudden, I'm loving the RS5. You're able to remote park the RS5 using an app on your phone, so if you press a button, it will pull forward out of a space or reverse backwards into it, you choose. However, you have to have that app authorised by your dealer. I don't have that because it's not my car, so I'm having to use a James instead. Look, everyone should get themselves a James.
Your life is better with a James. Get yours today. You won't regret it.
And usually for a sporty seat, look down here. There are ISOFIX anchor points, so you can have your child next to you if you're mad. This car can tow 1.9 tonnes, which is all right for a hybrid, and you can get it with an electrically deployable tow bar. This car doesn't have it. But you can't get a tow bar at all with the BMW M3, so that's going to swing the decision entirely, isn't it? For a plug-in hybrid, this car has quite a big battery. It's 22 kilowatt hours, which will give you 52 miles of range on electric only power, and it can be quite aggressive with the throttle. As long as you don't hit the kickdown switch when you're in EV mode, it will stay in EV mode. And that means you can use this car just to nip to the shops and stuff like that without heat cycling the engine. I like that. The engine isn't on and I'm doing 70 miles an hour. Still not kicked in. I'm at 80. 84. But there we go, kicked in. There are benefits to plug-in hybrids after all. I used to have the previous generation RS4 and I absolutely loved it because it blended like comfort and refinement with sporty fun handling. Now this one, it's similar but not quite as good, and it's all down to the weight. So first off, the suspension in comfort mode isn't quite as supple. It does have a slightly firmer edge than the old RS4. And then when you go into sports mode, it feels firmer still. Now it's not terrible, it's not like the BMW M5 hybrid, which really got on my nerves after a while because its suspension was just too firm. This is definitely better, but it's not as good as the old car, even though Audi has fitted it with clever 2-valve dampers. Other things they've done to the car is give it stiffer springs front and rear. They have also fitted the car with upgraded bushings and links, so everything's just tighter. Also the axles are different, and the rear axle especially is modified over the standard A5, and of course got wider track front and rear. And that's not all, they've even made the body 10% stiffer than the A5 in which it's based. So when you go into RS mode, is it as much fun as the old RS4 I used to have? Well, the answer to that is unfortunately no, it's not, because you can tell that this car feels quite heavy. Everything is good and everything is fine and everything is dandy up until the point where you're pushing really quite hard, and then it just doesn't want to go around a corner. It just seems to like understeer. Up until that point, it's not bad, and it's more likely to rotate than Audis of the past. But still, when you're on the limit, there's just something a little less fun, a little less fluid, and a little less natural about this hybrid RS5, and it is all down to the weight. Because the engineers, they have done a good job on this car. I think in many ways they've done a better job than BMW did with their M5 hybrid. However, you know that if they had the choice to not have to make this car a hybrid, they 100% would have done. The only reason they're doing it is for emissions regulations and targets that they have to hit. Otherwise, there would be no hybridization on this car whatsoever, and it would drive better than it does. Because quite frankly, it doesn't feel any faster than the old RS4. And while you do get a little bit more pickup when you first put your foot down because the electric motors fill in the torque gap in the turbos, it's momentary and minor. And just outright playfulness and fun, the weight just hampers everything. There we go, just running wide. And you really notice it when you jump into the BMW. This is more like it. This feels like a sports car in comparison. I feel more in tune with it. I'm not dealing with so much weight. It's just more agile in the corners, and more trustworthy. The only thing you notice is that sometimes if you're not in the right gear, you got that turbo lag, but this engine's so strong anyway, and it's not trying to haul so much mass that it just feels more natural. This, there is a harsh edge to it in some ways, but I think that's just the bushings of the subframes just transmit a bit more vibration into the cabin. The suspension itself deals with bumps better than the Audi because, once again, it's not having to deal with so much weight. This is more fun. It does feel more aggressive. It's a bit more like egging you on to go faster. So driving it's more of an event. And I think on a long journey, the Audi's probably a little less tiring, but maybe not, because the suspension in the Audi is just that bit more jarring. One thing I don't like about the BMW, stupid fat steering wheel, third wheel in the Audi. But other than that, this is a car I will go out just for a blast in. I know that because I had one and I used to do that. Sometimes older and less complex is better, and this M3 is a case in point. On paper, the Audi is better value than the BMW M3. It starts at £89,000, so it's about £2 less than the starting price of the BMW. This one here, with all the kit on it, £97,000. That BMW that I was driving, £118,000, but that doesn't tell the whole story, because through CarWow, you can save 18 grand off that BMW, so it comes down to £100,000. And as this is so new, there's no savings on CarWow yet, but there will be in future, so make sure you head to CarWow. With that in mind, the BMW looks like the better car to buy. However, if you don't want a BMW and you don't want a hybrid, why not get an Audi RS6? Beautiful 4-litre V8, and here's one I found on CarWow, £80,000, 2023 model year car. There is of course a risk of buying a used car, and that's that it might have a dodgy past. So make sure you do a car vertical history check on any used car you're thinking of buying, because here's an example of an Audi RS6 which has been involved in an accident, and you wouldn't know about that if you hadn't done this car vertical history check on it. So if you're thinking about buying a used car, use Car Vertical. There's a link in the description of this video, and use the code CARWOW for 20% off. Thank me later. But if you are after a brand new car, where does that leave us with the Audi RS5? Should you avoid it, consider it, shortlist it, or just go right ahead and buy it? Well, do you know what? It's a decent enough car, but it's kind of blunted by being a plug-in hybrid and so heavy. So I reckon you should consider it. Me, I just had the BMW M3. Thing is, while my verdict is the right one for me, and probably for you if you're a petrol head, it's not always the right verdict for we. And I'll show you what I mean now.
Hello.
Hello, Joe, you all right?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay, thanks, I'm okay. Quick question, right? Remember we had a BMW M3 and we've now got this Audi RS5. If I was to buy one, which one would you rather I bought?
The RS5, definitely.
Okay, all right, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Because that happens to you. And that changes everything. Now you might think that I'm a bit of a simp, and you'd be right, because my next car, well, you can find out what it is by watching that video there. Yeah, you can tell who wears the trousers in our family. Anyhow, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like. Let me know if you agree with my verdict in the comments below. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel because there's some more cool videos coming out. And as ever, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
First sight, I never believed. When I saw you for the first time, I changed my mind. Your eyes and your smile are a fantasy. I need